Wait, so today we're doing step 4 from multiplying mixed numbers, and step 4 is really easy. Step 4 is to change the improper fraction into a mixed number. So that is step number 4. We're changing the improper fraction into a mixed number. So today we're going to be focusing on step 4. So I'm going to try and do at least 4 examples for you. So for today's homework, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be focusing on being able to go through steps 1 through 4. So let's do our first example, 1 3/4. 1 3/4 times 2 1/2. So step number 1 is to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, and I get 7/4. Then I change 2 1/2 into a mixed number. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and I get 5/2. Step number 2 is to cross-simplify if possible. 4 and 5 share no common factors. 7 and 2 share no common factors. So I move on to step 3, which is to multiply across horizontally. 7 times 5 is 35. 4 times 2 is 8. And we stopped here. Now the next step is to change the improper fraction into a mixed number. So what number goes inside the division box? 35. 8 goes on the outside. How many times can 8 fit into 35? Using my knowledge of the multiplication tables, I know that 8 can fit into 35 4 times. 8 times 4 is 32. I subtract and I get 3. So now my answer is 4 3/8. Remember to box your answers so that when you are done, because we went through a lot, you will be able to identify your answer. So this is on the whiteboard, and I'm going to show you one on paper just so that you can get both. Let me do another example. Let's do 7 4/5 times 2 1/3. So step number 1 is to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. The way I do that, we multiply. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4 is 39. So I get 39/5 times 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 7/3. I can't move on yet until I cross-simplify. 5 and 7 share no factors in common, but 39 and 3 share a common factor, which is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 39 divided by 3 is equal to 13. And I'm going to rewrite just because it's better to be neat than not to be neat. So I have 13/5 times 7/1. So do you see the importance of cross-simplifying? Because if I didn't cross-simplify, I'd have to multiply this big number. And now that I cross-simplified, I was able to break it down into a number with a smaller value. 13 times 7 is equal to 91. And 5 times 1 is 5. And now, we've reached the end of step 3, so now we're moving on to step 4, which is to change the improper fraction into a mixed number. The way I do that, Draw my division box. What goes on the inside? 91. On the outside, 5. How many times can 5 fit into 9? Once. 9 minus 5 is 4. Bring down the 1. How many times can 5 fit into 40? 8 times 5 is 40. So now I get all three parts of my mixed number, 18 and 1/5. So 18 and 1/5. Let me do another example for you. Let's see, what should we do? Let's do 3 3/4. 3 3/4 times 2 4/5. Okay, first step is to change the mixed numbers into improper fractions. So what I do, multiply the denominator times the whole number. 4 times 3 is 12. Then add that to the numerator. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 over 4 times 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14 over 5. Step 2 is to cross simplify. Do 5 and 15 share a common factor? They do. 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Do 4 and 14 share a common factor? Yes, they do. 2. They're both even numbers. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So then I am going to rewrite 3 over 2 times 7 over 1. Step 3, multiply across horizontally. 7 times 3 is 21. 2 times 1 is 2. Step 4, change from mixed improper fraction to mixed number. Therefore, I do my division box. What goes on the inside? 21, you're all right. And then on the outside, I have 2. How many times can 2 fit into 21? Well, 2 can fit into 2 once. How many times can 2 fit into 1? 0. So 2 times 0 is 0. My answer is 10 and 1/2. Don't forget to box your answer. Just because we've done a lot of work. Do you see all the work we've done to get to our product? So please box your answer. Let's do the last one and then we'll call it a day and you'll be practicing from your textbook. Last one that we're going to do will be one with a whole number. 6 times 2 and 2 over 7. I can't multiply a whole number times a fraction, so I have to rewrite this as, I have to rewrite the 6 as a fraction. So 6 over 1 times 2 over 2 and 7. I cannot multiply 2 and 2 over 7 and 6 over 1 because I have to change this into an improper fraction. So 6 over 1 times 7 times 2 is 14 plus 2 is 16, correct? That's step 3. Oh, I can't even get to step 3 because I have to cross simplify. Can I cross simplify here? I can't because 1 and 16 have no common factor except 1, and 6 and 7 share no common factor except 1. Now that I have done so, I multiply straight across. 16 times 6 is 96. 7 times 1 is 7. And I get 96 over 7. That's not my answer. This is an improper fraction. So I have to do a division operation. 96 goes inside, while 7 is on the outside. I ask myself how many times can 7 fit into 9? It can fit 1 time. 9 minus 7 is 2. I bring down the 6. How many times can 7 fit into 26? Well, 7 times 3. It fits 3 times. 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract. And I get 13 and 5 over 7, which is my final product. I box my answer, and I'm done. So for today, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be working from your textbook and the reteaching. You're going to do steps 1 through 4.